Across the world in the Indus-Saraswati Valley civilization, the ancient practice of yoga originated and has been practiced dating back to 2700 BC. This Eastern practice dives into the mind-body connection that is often lacking in Western society and physical activity. As a runner who has experienced many injuries in my time, I wondered what it would be like to do a challenge that would help my flexibility and help me get some of the kinks out of these old bones. I also decided to loop in my podcast co-host Chantz from the Rise Productive podcast, who is also a collegiate runner.
Look at this stoic beaut. Let's go, Chantz!
So Chantz and I decided to try to do yoga every single day for 30 days. So this one's gonna be a little bit different in that we're gonna have two perspectives instead of just mine on how a 30-day challenge went, and it's gonna be exciting to dive into all that in this video. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all of my latest videos. And if you've never checked out our podcast before, please go and look up the Rise Productive podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you want to listen to podcasts today. So for this challenge, we actually utilized the Down Dog app, which was great in the sense that it was free for students, so Chantz was able to get that for free, and it was a nice guided yoga app that helped us newbies become yogis. Not really, we did not become yogis. Well, we didn't become yogis per se. Chantz and I were able to utilize the same application for 30 days and dedicate ourselves to doing a full yoga session each and every day that was guided in a very nice format. Let's show you guys how this one went down. So I've been somebody who's had like this hip pain for the last, I don't even know how many months, since April. God, it's been April. Oh, that's bad. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I'm old. I ran a lot of track in college, and I was able to utilize a lot of different stretches using the happy baby pose, the lizard lunges, and some side lunges that were really nice in the sense that, you know, I did a lot of what's called yin yoga, and I was able to really dig into those issues I was feeling, and utilizing this consistently for 30 days, I really felt that pain in my hip loosen up, and I was able to get some more flexibility. I think the main reason it hasn't exactly gone away is because I've still been running a fair amount, and also I sit at a desk so much. So it's not like I'm exactly giving my hips a break. So it was nice to, at least for 30 days, feel a little bit better and not just absolutely break down in the hip area when I definitely probably could have. And overall, another positive was just the fact that I just liked how my body felt. You know, walking around, I felt a little bit more flexible. I felt a little bit less stressed in the shoulders for sure. There's just a lot of little things about yoga that you don't even notice that you're doing until like now. I'm recording this, you know, maybe a month after we did the challenge, and I definitely feel different than I did during that month because I didn't take as much time to intentionally stretch and get those things out of my body that I was feeling, especially during last month when I was doing the challenge. So it's obvious that yoga has some nice things, but can we talk about the fact that the hard stances, like what even are those? Like what is this thing? I'm gonna show you, it's gonna be a picture of a bit, but what is that? What is that thing that I'm doing? Why is that a yoga pose? Now, granted, I understand that there's like this advancedness to yoga. It can be used as a form of exercise for some people. I don't need that. I like running in an oval. I'm fine. I don't need this balance stuff. I've been bad with balance my whole life. And the negatives for me are very specific because, good Lord, I could not do that thing where I was like, I mean, yes, I managed to make it happen. I did fall over once or twice, but it was solid in the sense that I was challenging myself. But the negative was, at the end of the day, when I did the yoga, I just wanted something that would fill my proverbial bucket, as we're going to talk about. And it was just taking it out. In life, I feel that we have a life water bucket, and every single day, that bucket has a finite amount of water that we can pour out and take back in. So essentially, when you're using this water from the bucket, I felt that there was a lot of positives that come from doing normal stretching, but when I did the intense stretching at the end of a long day when my bucket was already empty from all the work I had done, I wanted just something to fill it up. And unfortunately, these intense yoga stances did the opposite, and I wasn't a big fan of how it basically ran me dry by the time I was done with the day.
Some of the stretches that were difficult for me, like I think it's usually the active stuff that makes me lose it, but I can meet you halfway on like some stretch that you really don't like. Like for me, every time at the end of yin, it was always happy baby. And
I love that.
I hate happy baby. I have terrible hips, and it's like, it hurts my back, and like, I'm like sitting right on my spine. Like it's terrible.
So the verdict on this one, for me at least, is I'm going to keep doing it in this sense. I'm going to keep doing pseudo yin yoga. I'm going to keep stretching. I felt that it was a really nice challenge to get like those kinks out of my hips. And that's one of those things where these 30-day challenges do not always end in me doing them all the way, but parts of them I kind of incorporate, right? I don't read for like half an hour. I read for like 15 minutes a day. I don't meditate for like the whole session. Sometimes I'll just do 5-minute short meditations. I just try to implement things in my life that I enjoy. I don't have an intentional journaling writing session. I just journal out my thoughts throughout the day. And this one, I'm definitely going to just do normal stretching rather than like taking the time to do a whole yoga session, because I don't want to do the stuff that's not like just feeling good.
I think I will take yoga with me, especially with the Down Dog app, because I think being flexible for life is kind of one of my goals. Like I really want to run for as long as I can, but everyone that I talk to or I tell them like, yeah, I'd love to run in like my 40s and 50s. They're like, well, you should really get into like stretching, keep up the stretching, because your muscles are only going to get tighter. You're only going to start pulling more and more things. Getting back to the general conversation of a 30-day challenge, and whether this is yoga or whatever kind of betterment challenge you want to do with yourself, doing it with a friend, I think, is much more fun. If you're like me, who's someone who both struggles to keep up a good streak, keep up a good habit, and also struggles with communicating well with people that I want to keep in my life, this checks both of those boxes for me. It was just fun to text, be like, man, hard day of yoga.
This one's rough. So I want to thank Chantz once again for all of the support that he's given me through like my YouTube journey, and then like on the podcast. You know, he's like a part of the Rise Productive community, and we have a lot of good things coming in 2022. Not only for this channel, but for the podcast, and then things outside of it as well. So I want to thank him for all that work that he's done and the work that he'll continue to do with me, and just for being a good guy and being one of my good buddies from college. That it's nice to have those people in your corner, and it's great to have Chantz in mine. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Check out the rest of my 30-day challenges in the end card right there, and I will see you guys in the next one.